If not, we're going to welcome our keynote speaker. Gbenga Ogunjimi is a West African name, and it means to elevate. That's right. That's why they say Nigeria will carry last, because we elevate all the time. As a social entrepreneur and business storytelling expert, he leverages his expertise in social enterprise to elevate leaders seeking to make a global impact. As the chief storyteller of GO Global, Gbenga has provided coaching to hundreds of leaders at organizations including American Express, Verizon, and the UN Foundation. Additionally, Gbenga serves as an adjunct professor at the University of District of Columbia, teaching courses in business storytelling and micro-entrepreneurship. Kindly give him a round of applause and welcome him to the stage.
Hello, everyone. Hello. I am so honored to be here today. I want to thank the leadership of NAPAC for affording me this incredible opportunity to be the keynote speaker. And this gathering and me standing here today is proof positive that if anyone continues to pander the false narrative that our community does not work together, this is the proof. If anyone continues to doubt the power of our community to rally behind an idea bigger than ourselves, this is the proof of that. The work NAPAC continues to do for over a decade as an inspiration to even new cadre of organizations like the Nigerian Center. So on behalf of myself, everyone seated, I just really want us to honor and salute the leadership of NAPAC with a round of applause. A few years ago, I had a chance encounter, a conversation with Dr. Tai Dorothy, and I'm meeting him for the very first time today. And right on that call, he said, hold on 1 second. There is a couple of people that has to be on this conversation. One of them happened to be Dr. Opesami, and we tried to get Madam VP on the conference call, but we couldn't. She invited me to a massive conference happening in Washington, D.C. It was usually called the Oriental Hotel, not the Salamander Hotel. There were important dignitaries that were coming in and out of that office, in that conference. And all I had was a window of opportunity to speak to these two dynamic, incredible leaders at the hotel lobby. I told them that I have recently accepted the challenge to lead the very first Nigerian Community Immigrant Center for our community. That in all the communities, all the immigrant communities in this country, whether they are Chinese, Ethiopians, Jewish, Latinos, you can point to a physical location called the community center, but we don't have one. I tell you, both of them extended an hand of support, and for the several months after that, they will incubate and mentor and support and put all the resources of NAPAC to make Nigerian Center a success that it is today. Again, that quick story is another confirmation that the narrative that our community does not support each other is false. Because me standing here today is proof positive that this is what NAPAC is all about. So, first of all, I bring greetings, welcome to the DMV, to Washington, D.C. And can I say that our representative in Washington, D.C. just happens to be a Nigerian American by the name of Dr. Oye Owelewa. Thank you, sir. I tell people I live in the most powerful city in the world, And the leader, the representative of that city, is a Nigerian American that happens to be a member of NAPAC. Isn't that incredible? So today our theme is nurturing our collective greatness in the Nigerian American community. I would always say again, Dr. Nelson Aluya is famous for saying, is known for saying that the Nigerian community has prospered individually. But can we say the same for us as a community? And I think we are on that trajectory for community greatness. So I think as we all continue to think about what else can we do to really catalyze and amplify the greatness of our community, I want to share a few ideas. But more than the ideas I want to share today, I want to plant some seeds of thoughts and introspection for everyone seated. That what else can I do with the platform that I have? The platform I had 2 years ago was a window of opportunity at a hotel lobby to speak to 2 women. And because of that opportunity, I'm standing here today elevating the Nigerian American community. Now, since we started, many other countries, whether they be Ghana, Senegal, Cote d'Ivoire, come to the Nigerian Center and say, can you help us realize our own community center? But I had NAPAC to turn to. And all I had was a small window of opportunity at an hotel lobby. I could not even enter the conference. So what I want to do is to plant some ideas for you to think about that I would offer some humble suggestions, but ultimately the answer we are looking for is right with you. And I really want you to really pay attention to that. So the very first thing I would say is that as a community, it is time for us to move from thought leadership to systems leadership. And what does that mean? Thought leadership implies the idea that individually we have prospered, we have succeeded. Our community can boast of billionaires, surgeons, doctors, judges, entrepreneurs, civic innovators. Those are great, but at best that speaks to thought leadership. That speaks to people rising to the highest echelons of the various industries and professions. The work we are doing here today in NAPAC is to elevate us from thought leadership to systems leadership. You heard Madam VP talks about membership and why that is. Vision, the world that we want. I remember having the opportunity of recently traveling to Michigan, and our representative in Michigan, Mr. Akindele gave me a wonderful tour of the emerging communities there. He said something. He said, Gbenga, we have the opportunity to create the world of our prayers, the world of our dream, right here in Michigan. So when we focus and pivot from thought leadership to systems leadership, we can create the Nigerian American of our dream and Nigerian American of our prayers. So that is why it is important for all the state PACs to really be aggressive with membership. Because you are not just putting individuals in office. I can say my city is represented. I remember when Dr. O on the campaign message, people said, I don't know you, I believe everything you can say, I'm just meeting you, but what I know is my doctor is in Nigeria, my accountant is in Nigeria, my professor is in Nigeria, and because of that, I'm going to vote for you. That is systems leadership. Now, running for office is not the only way we can impact systems leadership. Dr. Nelson said, if you cannot go, let your resources go for your better still, go with your resources. We need resources, donations, inventions, investments to really support those who are running. I also want to flag and also highlight even those who work in the communities who may never run for offices. We live in a country, civic participation in this country has always been a precursor for political participation. People died and they gave us the opportunity for you and I to even imagine or aspire to run for offices. they didn't want, we can also do that in our various communities, and we can support those who are changing the systems. I want to speak about policy. Another way we can contribute to systems leadership is to become policy shapers. Isn't it interesting that currently with how massive our community is, we only have 2 pieces of legislation on the Hill that are community-led. Only 2. And we are the largest Black immigrant community in the United States. One of them is called HRS 82. It's led by an organization called ICON, International Community for Nigeria. And that campaign is to redesignate Nigeria on the country of concern list and also atrocities going on with religious freedom. The second one is TPS for Nigeria, that Nigerian Center is leading. This initiative are important, and we are elevating our community as a priority on the Hill. But I think we have an opportunity to create a whole new policy strategy that is not just responsive to pain points, but is coming from the position of strength, that is coming from the position of greatness. So my challenge to all the state PACs across the zone that are flown in here is by the time we gather for the 13th AGM, at least let's get our number to 5 or 10. Can we do that? Should we do that? I think we should. Because we have an opportunity to make a bipartisan support for Nigeria and elevate our community where it rightfully belongs. Now, all the thing I want to talk about in terms of how do we foster and nurture this collective greatness happens to be storytelling. If you don't tell your story, what's going to happen? Somebody else will tell your story for you. And oftentimes, when we try to tell our story, we are telling our story because of what someone thinks we are. And we are reacting to someone else's opinion. That is really not the question. The question is, what do we want to be known for as a community? And this is my challenge to NAPAC at the state level, at the federal level, and even the Nigerian American community collectively. What do we want to be known for in this country? What do we want to be known for as a community? What do we want to be known for in terms of our capacity and our numbers as a people? We have the opportunity to change that narrative and reframe what we currently have. Nigeria is very interested in terms of perception. It's always the opposite sides of the extreme. It's that people overly love Nigeria. It's this love and hate relationship with anything Nigeria. But again, those are people's opinion. If we don't do anything about it, it's going to remain that way, but we have the opportunity to transform that narrative. So let me take it on a little bit. We recently have a new administration coming in Nigeria. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is our president in Nigeria, for those who do not know. And during his inauguration, he said something very profound. And I think we should take on this language and we should run with it. He said Nigeria represents the best hope for the Black race. Yes. Isn't that massive? Yes. Can we give it up for that statement? But even us in Nigeria, even us in the United States, when you think about that, with all the cultural and racial dynamics going on domestically within this country, we have an opportunity now to elevate our community's voice, that we are the best expression of what it means to be Black, not just on the continent of Africa, but in anywhere you find Black people, Nigeria is present. And the best of the best, talk about the new Black excellence. That is what we are talking about. So we can give it up for that as well. So we have an opportunity to tell a whole new story. Those in the entertainment have led the way. They have made the job easier. The younger generation have led the way. Now in policy, now when we go to our policy representative, you are not just speaking to a group of immigrants who came in 4 years ago, 14 years ago, or 4 decades ago. You were talking to the people who've been here for generations, who can trace their ancestry back to Nigeria. You were talking about the representation of Black America, which has the largest ancestry come from Nigeria. So that gives us the opportunity to elevate the conversation and tell a whole new story. So I think we have an opportunity to tell that story. Lastly, I want to talk about how do we even increase greatness within NAPAC itself. Because we say back home, charity begins where? At home. Charity begins at home. So when I started the Nigerian Center, I had a discovery meeting with the leadership of all the community centers. I started with the Latino community, and I went to the Jewish community, and I went to the Indian communities, and I understudied all this community. This is what I realized. I couldn't find one organization whose executive director is a volunteer. We applaud the leadership of NAPAC. These people are busy. They are surgeons, they are doctors, they are lawyers, but let's really think about it. There's only so much we're expecting of them. And even they have exceeded our expectation. But as we talk about the new frontier we have to conquer as a community, I really want to challenge us to really increase our investment into NAPAC itself. So this is my challenge. The woman said she loves challenge, I believe from the States. So this is my challenge to everyone. Can we commit a small donation for the next 3 to 6 months, say $50 each individual, and let's have a goal of $100,000. And every single one of us here, we are going to be on the search team for NAPAC. We can nominate yourself. We can nominate anyone that you know that has what it takes to move us forward as a body. And we are going to put our executive director on a full-time salary. Can we clap for that? They will have a budget for professional development. They will have insurance. They will have all the resources they could have. Even folks who just came from the university, we are going to recruit widely. And their responsibility is one. Their responsibility from a policy perspective is to reposition the Nigerian American community as a foreign policy priority for the United States of America. Can we talk about that? Yeah, the second item on their job description would be to reactivate and expand the Nigerian caucus on the Hill and make it bipartisan. Can we clap for that? So, these are the few things that they would do. But beyond that, they are going to expand NAPAC to the next generation that the gentleman mentioned. I believe it's my namesake, Gbenga. That the next generation in the schools as people come, and they will help us form coalitions and build bridges and release technology and social media and export our culture and make running for public policy attainable to every single one of us. They will change the paradigm that is something exclusive for anyone to a select group of people. And they'll make it so much within reach that I remember when we had the opportunity to have a wide-ass meeting with NAPAC and Nigerian Center for TPS. And we knocked on all the representatives. We could not find one that can help us push TPS. They'll make sure that, but thanks to Dr. O, would help us get it in Washington, D.C. But we have Dr. O in Washington, D.C. At the federal level. The job responsibility of this individual will be to do the same nationwide. So think about it. It's a very small commitment. $50 every single month for the next 3 to 6 months to get to $100,000. I know that a lot of millionaires looking at me right now, I mean, you felt insulted that I should ask you to donate $50 for 6 months. You can write us a check for $100,000 and Madam VP will graciously accept that check. But for those who can't do that, we want to give this a democratic participation. So, but beyond the money, I think it's the opportunity for us to be involved in shaping what the future looks like for NAPAC. Once again, I want to thank NAPAC for this incredible opportunity. Thank you so much for listening to me.
I think for what he said, that the clap should resonate throughout this whole hall. Thank you, Mr. Ogunjimi. So it's almost time for the throwdown. Well, I used to be in the military, so we call it chow. So if you're ready for chow, we're just waiting for the signal, but in the interim, let me see if I can find some jokes. How y'all doing? I came from Florida, y'all. Anybody know about Florida? Yeah. We're the gator country. Where in your backyard you think you're, living a sunshine dream, and right there floating with you is a gator. Yes. I heard gator meat is good too. I ain't never tried it, but I tried steak when I was at home. That's right. So, Dr. Kwasami, are we ready for dinner? Yes, we are. All right. So, are you going to give the rotation or? Yes. All right.